Good morning. Welcome to Shawnee Mission Unitarian Universalist Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. We are so happy that you have chosen this sanctuary and time. That you are here is something to celebrate. We extend an especially warm welcome to our visitors. We will be waiting to chat with you at the welcome desk after service. Remember, we were all newcomers once, and if you're joining us online, please say hello in the chat. We now invite everyone to rise and greet each other. Hi.
Are you ready? So ready.
I'm locked in.
Okay. You're going to say, and now Reverend Rose has a few announcements, okay?
Two men walking through a bar. The third one goes. I mean, we're talking about it. Don't worry about it. Where to?
Now, Reverend Rose has a few announcements.
Good morning, everyone. You're in for a very special service today, led by our very own youth. We feel so lucky to have such courageous, intelligent, heartful young people in our congregation who can lead us into the world we dream of. And before we begin, I want to acknowledge two people who have done so much loving care to this group of young people. Kevin, Roberts, and Zoe, if you would please stand. Kevin doesn't want to stand. We're so grateful to both of them for all the time and care and love they've given to our youth. And now we have an announcement from Forrest.
It's Celebration Sunday. Every first Sunday of the month at SMUUCh, we celebrate your birthdays, milestones, or volunteer of the month, who will soon get a fancy, smancy, reserved parking spot in the north lot. That's coming later. But we celebrate anything else worth celebrating about, so just let us know. Candy mix-up time in the offering plate. As it comes around today, grab your favorite candy from it. After the service, find your table with your candy on it and strike up a conversation. You might just find a new friend. It's usually a one-day thing, but feel free to keep sitting with your new candy crew in future weeks this month, just to see if you can form new friendships and connections. Bonus, Costco sheet cake. That's worth celebrating, right? After the service. If you have someone who you think should be celebrated, nominate them for Volunteer of the Month. So please take a moment to suggest someone amazing, either on paper at the welcome desk or online using the QR code, which should be on the screen now or soon enough. Thank you for celebrating with your church today.
And now we have an announcement from Dr. Lacey.
Good morning. There are several adult programs happening today after the service, starting at 12. The Women in Femmes group is meeting in the multipurpose room for their monthly base meeting. The fourth session of our UU history course is taking place in room 18 down the adult RE hallway. The topic is Unitarian Universalist identity, crises, and opportunities. All are welcome and light snacks are provided at that meeting. And lastly, our April Tall in the Fall meeting has been rescheduled for today in the boardroom. We will review this year's goals and discuss updates on upcoming projects like new signage in our welcome area. All are welcome to join. And I just want to say, with so much going on after the service, thank you to all our lay leadership who are going to be taking care of all those things, since I can only be in one place at a time, so thank you.
And now I invite Zoe up.
Good morning. Since the end of the last summer, I have been volunteering with the youth group. And you may have seen this little flyer near your seat or on your seat. And I'm here to share an exciting opportunity, which is to become a youth mentor volunteer. We're seeking additional volunteers to support this youth group and also to grow the program. When I first reached out about volunteering, I worried that I wasn't qualified because I had only come to a SMUUCh service like once or twice, and had met Rev Rose once through a mutual friend, but I'm pretty new to SMUUCh. But Jen, Kevin, Rev Rose all welcomed me right away, and after a background check, of course. But I've been volunteering with them ever since, and it's not only fun, but incredibly rewarding. When we are seeking folks who are curious and...
Wait, Zoe. We wrote an advertisement.
You wrote an advertisement for what?
Volunteers. Didn't you say you wanted our help?
Oh, very well.
Wanted a volunteer for several hilarious teens. If you want this choice position, have a cheery disposition. Laugh at jokes, bring snacks, join our weekly chats. You must be kind, you must be zesty, very chill, playfully pesky. Play some games like sardines. Show up, bring treats. Never be dull or grim. Help us figure out new excuses for gym. Help us dream and plan and wonder. Help us survive occasional teen drama. Please don't scold or micromanage. We'll teach you slang for your advantage. Delirious, sus and mewing. Don't worry, soon you'll know what that means. Hurry, mentor! Many thanks, sincerely, SMUUCh Youth Group. Thanks.
And now Java will introduce our Donate the Plate.
Every month, we as a church select an organization for our Donate the Plate offering. This month, the youth group has selected Stand Up Casey. Joining us now to talk to the congregant about this important organization is Daniel Tucker.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for having us here. My name is Daniel Tucker. I'm an organizer with Stand Up KC and the Missouri Worker Center, and I just want to give a shout out to Zoe and Kevin. When I came out to the youth group, I did not know what I was expecting. I was working after hours. I was really busy, as a weary organizer often is, and it totally lifted my spirits to be in the presence of these young people, and how engaged they were was a real testament, I think, to their leadership, but also I think to this congregation and the values it stands for. That being said, that's why I want to talk to you all today, and I'll introduce the man beside me, Terrence Wise. Our organization is an organization of low-wage workers, people who are working in fast food restaurants, retail stores. On the other side of the state, we organize Amazon workers, people who are struggling just to pay their bills. And we're organizing workers to fight for economic justice, for racial equality, for gender equality. And we've been doing that for many years. We started in 2013 with Stand Up KC, and we launched the Missouri Worker Center, our statewide organization, in 2021. But I want to introduce Terrence because he's been a leader in the organization since the beginning in 2013, a longtime fast food worker who's organized strikes, marches, rallies, and demonstrations, and helped us increased the minimum wage, helped us win paid sick days, and helped improve the lives of working people all throughout our state. And so I want to have him just share a little bit about his own personal story and why we do what we do and why we're so happy that you all are supporting the Missouri Worker Center here today. So thank you so much. Without further ado, Terrence Wise.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having us. I think it's appropriate that I not talk about me. I want to tell a story about 3 little girls. And it's a story it'll cover 100 years in less than 2 minutes. Watch me do it. There were 3 little girls, and their great-grandmother was a sharecropper in Swansea, South Carolina. Their grandmother was a longtime fast food worker. She worked for a company called Hardee's for 30 years. And their parents, both of their parents were full-time workers. One, their parents was a home health care worker, and the other parent was a fast food worker. And these 3 girls, all through their youth, they had questions. The oldest sister always wondered why she couldn't get ballet shoes like the other girls in ballerina class. The middle daughter was always worried that every year she switched schools and kept losing friends because her parents kept getting evicted every other year. And the youngest sister always questioned, were we poor? Why do we have to miss meals and both of my parents work full time? Those 3 girls are my 3 daughters. That great-grandmother is my grandmother, and their grandmother is my mother. I work full-time, and my fiance as well, in home health care, and despite the fact my 3 girls had to go through all those difficult things and wonder those things. That's why I decided to join with workers not only here in Kansas City, but across the country to fight for not only economic justice, but racial equality and everything else underneath the sun that we need equality with. Over the years, my daughters have attended climate marches, we've attended racial justice marches, and definitely strikes for the workplace. I was most proud when my daughters were part of the student walkouts we had here in our area a little while back. That made me one proud papa. And most recently, my daughters were with me when we delivered over 200,000 signatures to Jeff City to get Proposition A on the ballot and passed in November to give workers paid sick days and make the minimum wage $15 an hour. And so we're definitely putting the work in and we're getting it done, but we got so much more to go. And I know that we can get it done if we get there together. But we're going to need folks to participate not only with donations and whatever the case may be, but be present in the moment because our strength is in numbers. And if we want to see a better world, a better community, we got to do it together. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Terrence, thank you so much for your testimony, and I really appreciate you guys being here.
Come, let us worship. Please rise as you are willing and able for hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. As Sam Fuller comes forward to light our chalice, we invite you to join us as we recite our covenant. Let us affirm that love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another.
At this time, I'd like to invite all the children forward for Time for All Ages. Welcome. Today, I want to discuss cats. Meow. And their role in spiritual traditions. Who here has a cat? Ooh, lots of people. What's your cat's name? Pinky, and she's evil. Yes. Aw, you have a cat named after the moon. I love that. Thank you. What about other people? What are your cat's names? Yeah.
My cat's name is Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
Mine is Lucifer, and funny enough, he's a sweetheart.
Lucifer, but a sweetheart.
Mine's named Walter, and he's also kind of evil, but nice.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Yeah, cats are like that. Evil, nice. They always leave you guessing. Yeah. Lazy too, yes. Our youth have been exploring different religions and spiritual traditions for over 2 years now, and they're going to share their experiences with us today. One of those traditions is paganism, a tradition that explores many gods and goddesses and is rooted in the earth. You have lots of cats too. As part of their study, they visited Gaia, an earth-based pagan community that meets at our church every Sunday afternoon. On the day they visited, they explored the role of cats in different pagan traditions. For centuries, cats have been considered spiritual companions, symbols of magic and messengers of the unseen world. Some people believe that cats can communicate between the living and the dead, and others believe they are protectors of our homes. There is definitely a lot of mystery around cats and their relationship with humans. Yes. Yeah, he is. When the youth visited Gaia community, they learned a song that they're going to teach us today. This song is called The Cat Herder's Carol. It was written by a woman named Kitty Degler. Our youth are going to teach us some of the words, but first we should get ready. Let's put some cat ears on to get into the spirit.
I really need one. I already act like a cat.
Everyone get some ears repeated.
I'm already a cat. I don't need a cat ears. I already act like a cat.
Everyone get some? Perfect. All right, let's take a look at the words of the song before they teach us how to sing it. All right, I'm going to read the words to us. Where there's disorder, when there's chaos, all these cats running around, we are strong and we can do it. There's solutions to be found. All right, youth, can you sing through once for us so we can get an idea of the melody?
Where there's disorder, where there's chaos, all these cats running around. We are strong and we can do it. There's solutions to be found.
Perfect. All right, in just a moment, they're going to sing through it 3 times. Once you get the hang of it, feel free to join in. And children, if you would like, while they're singing, we can stand up and dance like cats. All right, kick us off, youth.
You guys can do it too, by the way. You can stand up and cat dance.
Where there's disorder, where there's chaos, all these cats running around. We are strong and we can do it, there's solutions to be found. Where there's disorder, where there's chaos, all these cats running around. We are strong and we can do it, there's solutions to be found. Where there's disorder, where there's chaos, all these cats running around. We are strong and we can do it, there's solutions to be found.
Meow. All right, Daniel, sing us out, please.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Now let us take a moment to celebrate this community that encourages us to question the things that have insulated us from ourselves and celebrate our newest members as they take this step on their spiritual journeys. Membership in this free church is an invitation to dedicate your lives into the service of love and kinship with community. It is the invitation to spend your lives with us, to spend them on that which is worthy and beautiful and good, and to take up your ministry, our ministry of showing love to a world that needs our care. Let us affirm that together in this particular time in our lives, our covenant with each other doesn't change. It deepens as time progresses and we face new opportunities to live our values, and that amidst even dark times, our community remains bright.
Upon joining our congregation, members intend to show up for each other and for our world week after week, that all might be renewed in the spirit of courageous love, reminded of our highest aspirations, and blessed by connection within, between, and beyond us. As a faith that is united not by creed, but by sacred vow, we promise to support one another in good times and in bad, to grow together on an adventure of the Spirit, and to work side by side for the healing of the world. This morning, we invite those who have joined us in formal membership since our last new member in gathering to come forward and be celebrated. There is no test of belief, only the requirement of commitment to this community.
Will those of you who are ready to be celebrated please come forward? Rue Barrett, Wes Barrett, Carolyn Hazard, Kathleen Holmes, Steve Kovac, Joanna LaFleur, Grace Ann Sandry. Give them a rose. Would you please go to the next slide? Congregation, if you would please rise and speak over our newest members. We, the members of the Shawnee Mission UU Church, welcome you into the membership of this community of faith. We are grateful for your commitment to our lives together. We renew our promise to each other to seek meaning and truth in love, to respond to the calling of justice, and to be strengthened by our life together. We now extend this covenant to you. Welcome. And now, new members, please read your part on your little piece of paper. Turn it over. There you go. And now all together. Having affirmed one another and renewed our covenant, we now dedicate ourselves once more to our faith of courageous love in our community of radical welcome and deep connection. And now you may be seated. Forrest will give you, no wait, new members, stay up here one more second. Sorry. And now, let us sing together our song of response.
We are widening the circle. There is room here next to me as we caravan together on our shared journey. We extend to you our welcome, just as I was welcomed here, to seek truth and live with purpose and volunteer. This place is big enough. This place has love enough. And we are all enough. We are widening the circle. There is room here next to me.
To share in our experience with the Penn Valley Quaker Friends, I invite everyone to sit comfortably, try to quiet all distractions and noises from your mind, and find space for inner light that shines from within all of us. As we continue to hold this space of quiet contemplation, we now open this space to share our joys and sorrows. If you have a rare joy or profound sorrow, please come forward and briefly share in 2 to 3 sentences and light a candle.
I'm lighting a candle of joy. I'm finishing my junior year of high school, and I'm looking forward to my senior year, and it's just been a good year for me, so yeah.
Hello, my name is Amy, and I'm new to the SMUUCh Church. My husband and I have been struggling to conceive for 4 years, and May 12th is our first embryo transfer. So,
I do hate to break the chain of joys, but tomorrow I have my first AP test, and I am very scared.
Hi, my name is Joy, and I have some joys. But yeah, I've had a very eventful and fun last few weeks, but I'm very excited because a movie came out on Friday, and I get to see it tomorrow, and I'm so excited. Yay. Okay.
I'm Dale Hoogan. My dad died a year ago yesterday, and I really miss him, but he really had a wonderful life, so.
I'm Betsy Edmonds, and I'm lighting a candle of concern. A friend of mine is in the hospital with AFib, and tomorrow they are going to insert a defibrillator in her chest to monitor her heart. So I wish her all the best. Thank you.
We keep in our hearts all those who come on up here. It's not too late.
Lighting a candle of sorrow for a dear friend that I lost, and a loss, I think, to our community. Leonard Zeskind, a researcher and activist who tried to warn our country about the rise of white nationalism and racism, passed away just last week. He was a dear friend. His wife is a friend too, and I think our community has lost a really great person. So.
For those of you who cannot see, we're having a candle difficulty over here, but I feel really committed to the elements of the ritual, so if we could all just sit quietly for 1 second while I get these candles lit. I lit the 2 remaining candles for all the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts. And today, in honor of our Donate the Plate, I want to also draw to mind everyone who's struggling to make ends meet. Please sing our song of response with me.
We hear your word. Your life in all of its heaviness, in all of its brilliance, and we carry your joys and sorrows in a shared heart.
For our opening hymn, we sang, "Come, Come, Whoever You Are." This beloved song that we sing quite often here is, in our worship service, has roots that can be traced back to the traditions of the Islamic faith. Throughout our service today, each of the hymns have been selected from other faith traditions to explore with our curiosity. For the meditative hymn, we are all going to learn a new hymn together, number 180 in the Gray Hymnal. This is yet another hymn from the Islamic faith, using the word Alhamdulillah that translates to Alleluia, a word that is used to express rejoicing. As we explore with curiosity of learning a new melody, let us also embrace the shared sentiment of rejoicing and sing to those things and people who cause us to rejoice. Our hymn leaders will sing this once through, and then we invite you to join them as we sing it a second time.
Our reading today comes from Julianne Lepp. We seek our place in the world and the answers to our heart's deep questions. As we seek, may our hearts be open to unexpected answers. May we be reminded that all beings are whole, sacred, and worthy. Let our hearts be welcoming of multiple truths, not holding hard or fast to close-mindedness or judgmental thinking. What can we learn from each other in the richness of our differences? May the heart of compassion help us recognize the sacred in each other and bridge differences in these challenging times. May each of us be held in relationship, accountability, and the power of beloved community.
Over the past 2 years, our youth have gone on an amazing, very, very fortunate journey where they've traveled to visit over 15 different religious spaces throughout the city. You youth have made connections. You've made probably some surprising misconnections where you thought you were going to relate to something and it didn't fly. Today, in place of our sermon, I will be asking our youth in a panel format to share some of what they learned. All right. My first question is, what is something that stood out to you from a visit, either an image or an interaction? Yes, Ellie.
All the people in every space, like regardless of religion, were surprisingly welcoming of us. And it was really nice because I was expecting them to be like, ugh, other faiths, ugh. But no, they were really nice to us. And it was really refreshing to know that like the world isn't so closed off.
Another thing to go along with that, it never felt like they were trying to get us to turn to their side or anything. Like it was always just like, yeah, they were welcoming us in so that we could learn about them, and they were just teaching us, and it was just really nice to learn about it without feeling judged or anything, which is how I think a lot of people can feel when interacting with other religions.
I agree. I believe that it was really nice to have everyone be so welcoming. It was, since I joined a little bit later into the year, I feel like it was really surprising how welcoming everyone was in every single religion that we visited.
I'll share something that Norman shared with me, which was that he was very surprised that in one house of faith, they used color as a form of worship. And I thought that was really profound to think about even our spaces and how that speaks to our spirits. Yeah, go ahead.
Please let us make this church more colorful.
We want rainbows everywhere. Especially in flag form, yes.
Anything else? Next question. What is something another faith has added to your spiritual life?
Like quiet reflection about like just taking time every day to just think, not do anything, just think about life, myself, and others like the Quakers did. They had the whole hour of silence, which was a lot for me, but you know, it inspired me, like if they can do a whole hour, I can take 10 minutes out of every day to just sit and think about everything that's going on.
That everything's great. Like, you know, stuff happens, but always, like, through Hinduism, like, there's stuff out there. Like, just everything happens to other people, and there's always happiness everywhere. I think through, like, I meant to say Buddhism, sorry. In Hinduism, now I'm actually talking about Hinduism, like, there's like all these different gods and stuff, but everything has a spirit there. Everything has a purpose and a place, and everything can bring joy.
When we visited the Buddhist temple, like 15, 20 minutes away, the service there, it was kind of a while ago, so I don't remember all of it, but it was just really nice because we had to like sit there in silence, not quite an hour, but it still was a lot of time to just kind of think. And then, you know, there was a lot of repetition, and it's just interesting because it was surprisingly calming.
Anybody else want to share something that you feel added to your spiritual life from another faith? Okay, next question. Were there any other faiths that you explored? Go ahead.
You can finish the question.
Were there any other, this is in the same line, were there any particular faiths that were specifically attractive to you, and if so, why?
Hinduism. The temple was so beautiful, it was so colorful, and it did have good food. There was a cafeteria there. No, but it was such a beautiful place, and outside there was like these hand-carved sculptures, and they talked about how much time went into it, and it was such a beautiful place. And then also just like their whole idea of there's a lot of gods, believe what you want, maybe just come up with one. You know, it's really fascinating, and I really loved going there.
Let's go to Norman and Cleo and then Norman.
I thought that Buddhism was really fascinating, and I don't remember much, even though we learned about it last year, but one thing that really stuck out with me is that in Buddhism, you can't imagine what God is, because God is something that is perceived beyond the human mind, and we can't comprehend it. And that is something that I really struggled with, because I kept trying to think about what it could be, but every time I had to remember that whatever I think it is what it's not. And I had to stick with that for a while, but I thought that that was a really interesting thing, and it helped me gain the understanding that not every religion perceives beings in the same exact way, and I thought it was cool to know that there are very wide range of differences with that.
Buddhism also stood out to me as like, the eightfold path of just going in the middle of not having too much or too little, being just content with what you have in the world, and just continuing putting one foot in front of the other.
What else? Anything in any particular religion that stood out to you guys?
I really liked going to Gaia because it was so fun. There was lots of dancing and singing, and I mean, with a lot of the religions, something I really liked was like, how connected they were, like within each other, like the community. Like I've been going to this church my entire life. We all have this is a very big community that is like similar to that, very similar, that being very close and connected, but like it's just what I've always had. And going out and seeing that, there are other places like that. There are lots of little communities, all of which were like, very welcoming to us and like very willing to tell us what they think and what about them was very nice.
By the way, Gaia, if I remember correctly, meets like right there, like in our multi-purpose room, and it was just really surprising knowing that there's like other people here, and it was really neat.
I'm curious, was there anything, I think Blake kind of alluded to this, that you've been practicing a little bit of silence. Was there anything that was so alluring to you that you would actually want to practice it? Norman?
Buddhism.
I mean, the concept of peace across all the religions, it's just neat to see, and I want more of that in my life.
Were there any other similarities that you saw? Peace, you saw that everyone was advocating for peace. Anything else you saw across the religions?
There was definitely like several things that a lot, or if not all, of the religions shared, or like that I felt was like something that we had too. Like not only the fact that they all, a lot of them seem to have like very close communities, but several of them were also like very accommodating. Like something I really liked when we went to the Muslim service was that like they have their prayers, and there's a way that you do it. You stand up and you go back down a lot, but if you need something else, like if you need a chair to do it, you can do that. And like there are certain things that if you can't do it, or if it's unhealthy for you, like if you're pregnant or diabetic, then you don't have to you don't have to fast in the same way. So it's like very accommodating, which is very nice to see.
Was there anything that made you feel uncomfortable in other spaces?
I think when we went to the Quaker church, we had to sit in silence for an hour, and that I feel like for most of all of the youth group, it was pretty like, whoa, what's going on here? And it was really nice to step out of our comfort zones, and I feel like even though some people may have been pretty uncomfortable with like just not doing anything for a whole hour, I think it also helped kind of give a better understanding of you can sit with your own thoughts for a long time, and it helps calm you down really well. I really enjoyed it.
Not all the religions were like opening and welcome of other religions. Like they were opening and welcome to us, but one of the churches we went to was very, very anti-Christian, which kind of just unsettled me. That they would like be so open to like peace and like compassion and stuff, but at the same time just be constantly talking about how Christianity is like ruining their lives.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with what you said. That one was a little unsettling. It was the humanist, is that the word? Humanist? Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, peace, love, let's fight back about all these bad things that are happening. But also being a Christian for my formative years ruined my life. It was kind of scary. But you know, it was more of a like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but either way. In another place, I was a little uncomfortable, like at the beginning, going to the Catholic church, but that's just kind of like, I was scared that they were gonna like throw crosses at me and be like, gay, get away, get away. But no, it was fine, it was fun. Everyone seemed like, very welcoming, and they were like, I don't remember exactly what it was. It was like the first place I went to. It was a very long time ago, but they like they like sang a song in another language from like a country that was like struggling or something, or they had a lot of people there from there, so like to like bring awareness to that fact. So that was nice, and also it was really funny because on the way we were using ChatGPT, and then the part of the service, a guy came up and he was like, "Be like Jesus, not ChatGPT." And then the second we stepped out, Java got back on ChatGPT. It was so funny, but yeah. Sometimes I feel like you can be a little like reserved or like uncomfortable going to a new place, especially if like you don't know how they're gonna think of you. But they were all like very welcoming and seemed nice, and they wanted us to be there. So yeah.
I believe the word that you all are talking about that made you uncomfortable is dogma, and it's interesting how dogmatism can take so many forms, and that staying in a place of pluralism really keeps us out of fear. I heard someone say recently that fear's pronoun is always singular and openness's pronoun is always plural. Was there anything you saw in the worship of other groups that made you think, I wish we had this at SMUUCh, or I'm really glad, for example, Reverend Rose doesn't surprise us with an hour of silence, although it would be maybe good for, maybe we could do it.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Maybe one week when I don't have time to write a sermon. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, the question. Wish we had this. Whoa, I'm glad we don't do that.
I'm glad we don't say no AI.
What else?
Please, 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 please be colorful. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. The Hinduist temple, it was gorgeous. And I would love our church to be gorgeous too. This does bring up an idea that is in the works. We may or may not be yarn bombing the church, but more on that later. But color, please.
I'm just gonna build off of that. Look around you. White, brown. Anything interesting? No, nothing. This is the most symbolic part of this entire room. Nothing else. Get better.
So our goal is to make the entire church pink.
Yes.
We already have this, but I like the fact that we have so many different ways to be connected in this church that isn't just coming to a Sunday service or being here on Wednesdays, and how regardless of how big or small we are still so connected to each other. I find it crazy how many different things there are to be involved in through this church, and I'm really grateful that we have all of that.
Yeah, there are exactly 4 things of color in this room, and they're all red. We need more color, but
You're talking about the fire hydrant?
Yeah, fire hydrant. There's a few little red things. Other than the clothes, there's no color. But
where's the fire hydrant?
Also, I think we should dance more. We need to move around more. We get up and talk and we stand to sing, but we should just break into dance. We should break into song and dance and paint everything rainbow. It'll be great. You know how good dancing and color is for you? It stimulates, it makes you happy. We should be happy. We should dance. We should dance more.
I want to be happy.
We could be more happy if we danced.
Joy, that's a fire extinguisher, not a fire hydrant.
That was me. I said that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Thank
pin this
you.
on me, Java.
All right. Anything else on that question? What you wish we had? What you're glad we have? I wonder if everyone could think of one word. You can close your eyes. I want the youth to close your eyes and think of what is a word that you are going to carry forward from this experience into your life. Just one word. And now let's start down here with DJ Blade.
Quiet, calm, something around that.
This makes no sense if you don't know the story behind it, but Dionysus.
Connection.
Togetherness. Peace.
Community.
Path.
I was gonna say community, but someone already said that, so how dare you mentally steal my idea?
Now that you've been through this, you guys are all telepathic, right?
Yeah, three of us said the exact same word, pretty much.
That's good. That means that you are learning together, which is really great. Thank you so much, youth, for being willing to get up here and do this vulnerable, exciting, scary thing in front of the congregation. I hope that you all have learned a lot. All right, we are now going to take our offertory. You will notice that there is first a basket for you to put money in, and then there's a basket for you to get the candy out. Today, our Donate the Plate goes to Stand Up KC. Please give generously. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared values.
I have climbed the highest mountains. I have run through the fields only to be with you. Only to be with you. I have run, I have crawled, I've scaled these city walls, only to be with you. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I have kissed honey lips, felt the healing in her fingertips, burn, burn like a fire, burning desire. I have spoke with the tongue of angels, held the hand of the devil, and it was warm in the night. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I believe in a kingdom come the colors will bleed into one, bleed into one. And yes, I'm still running. You broke the bonds and you loosed the chains, carried the cross of my shame. Oh, my shame. Oh, you know I believe it. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. No, I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise as you are willing and able for our closing hymn, number 183, The Wind of Change Forever Blown. We curiously explore this song with lyrics from the faith tradition of Buddhism.
Change forever blown across the tumult of our way. Tomorrow's unborn griefs depose the sorrows of our yesterday. Dream yield to dream, strife follows strife, and death unweaves the webs of life. For us the labor and the heat, the broken secrets of our pride, the strenuous lessons of defeat, the flower deferred, the fruit denied, but not the peace supremely won. Great Buddha of the lotus throne, the end elusive and afar still lures us with its beckoning flight, and our immortal moments are a session of the infinite. How shall we reach the great unknown nirvana of your lotus throne?
I'd like to tell you a little story as a form of benediction. When I went through coming of age and did a similar program like this in my own youth, I was given a chalice necklace that I've worn for years. Recently, I reached up to touch it and it was gone. And I was so sad. This thing that has traveled with me all across the world and all the religions and all the ways that I've been searching. And my sister said to me, well, maybe it did what it was supposed to do for you. And it made me think about a question. When I was a youth, what is something that is coming up for me right now from when I was a youth? It just tied me to a certain time and made me wonder, what is still speaking to me from that time, spiritually specifically? So today at the Candy Mix-Up, the question that I give you to contemplate is, what is something from your own youth that maybe has done its job and you don't need anymore? And actually, surprise, the chalice was in my car. Didn't really look for it. And it made me think, okay, what from my youth do I still need? What am I still holding on to? So that's a question to think about and share as you feel comfortable during the candy mix-up. And also at the tables, as part of a small communal service project, the youth invite us to make little seed packets of native pollinators. These can be taken home for you to use or share with your families and friends. All the supplies will be on the tables in the fellowship hall, and all these lovely youth are going to be available for anyone who wants to connect or chat with them as they are willing. Thank you so much for your time and being here, both of you. We appreciate you. And go in peace. The youth, please follow me.